Hello, lovely people. Welcome to the Socks of Podcast. I'm your host, Brianna, and I hope you're comfy. Hope your socks are actually off. I don't feel like I've said that in a while for any of my other episode intros, or maybe I have, but do you know what? I'm so inconsistent. Well, I'm working on my consistency. You got a growth mindset around here. I'm working on my consistency nowadays, but that comes at a cost of me forgetting some of the content that I posted. Whoopsies. But yeah, I hope you're chillaxed. I surely am. I've just finished doing a meditation. It wasn't that long, but it's like my first meditation in ever, because I haven't meditated in a while. The last time I did it for like about a month, and I kind of just fell off. It was like around the same time that I just kind of fell off of journaling as well. But I've brought those two things back, and life is good. Life is good. Guys, it feels so nice to be peaceful. Like, choosing peace is a choice. Like, peace is literally a choice. If you don't go out and seek peace, or even with yourself, if you don't seek peace within yourself, do you even want better for yourself? I don't think you do. Because it really is so easy to attain. Obviously, circumstantial, with context, things can be different, but I'm gonna speak from my experience. I feel like just choosing the peaceful mindset is just, life feels like I'm walking on a cloud, honestly. I've cut out things that I deem as like distractions, because I just feel like I'm the sort of person where I don't think something is good or bad. I just think if you do too much of it, it can affect you in a positive or negative way, but nothing is really good or bad. It's just what you make of it. But for me, I decided to partake in Lent because this is literally the perfect time to do it. There's so much spiritually going on. It's literally Ramadan. It's Lent. My birthday was literally in February, beginning of Pisces season. Oh yeah, it's Pisces season, and Jesus was a Pisces too. Like, just I always have to like throw that in there whenever I'm just bigging up Pisces. I'm like, Jesus was a Pisces too. Like, that's why Pisces are superior. Hello. But in all honesty, this is a very spiritual time. Oh, and it was Chinese New Year. What the heck? You have to be doing something spiritual. Hello, connect with yourself. And I just thought, hey, do you know what? I think I want to partake in Lent, and I think I'm going to give up sugar, because I've like alluded to it, but I've started my fitness journey, guys. I started my fitness journey, and I'm in the gym, and guys, it's going great. It's going so great. If you aren't doing like a form of exercise, or just picking up a hobby that you know you can do like consistently, I would say the gym is like the best thing for me. But honestly, this can apply to any hobby. It doesn't have to be the gym, but I'm going to speak from my experience. Going to the gym, guys, I struggle with consistency, but like I said, it's something that I want to work on. But doing something like that where the results depend on what I put in, like the more I show up for myself, the more rewarding it will be for me in the long run. Like the results will be like, they'll be tea. Like, I will be looking at them, I'm like, oh my goodness, my abs are coming in. Thank goodness for me, because if I hadn't, put in that consistent effort, I wouldn't be looking at the mirror and thinking the same thing, But yeah, it kind of ties in with Lent. The reason why I'm like tying it back with Lent and, me giving up sugar, I was like, hey, like, if I want to see even more growth and even more better performance with myself, let me give up sugar. It's something, kind of easy to give up. I haven't done Lent in a while. So, and every time that I used to do it when I was younger, girl, I'd give up within like a week, which, you know what, props to me, because a week for a child is pretty long. I'm gonna say so myself. Time goes so slowly when you're a child. You don't realize it. Do you guys remember like, you'd be watching your favorite show, kids of today won't understand, man. Like, streaming has taken over. But if you had like a Skybox or whatever box you had, we had a Skybox when we were younger. I'd be watching my shows on Pop Girl, and I'd be so enthralled by the plot. I'd be watching like Zoe 101 or something, and some drama would go down. Some shit would go down, and I'm like, ooh. And then right before they're about to reveal what's going on, an ad comes on. In fact, it's the whole ad break. And the ad break would feel like it would be going on for like 20 whole minutes. I'm like, this is so long. Guys, I used to take ad breaks so seriously at that point. Like, I'd be like, do you know what? I fucking hate this ad break, but it's okay. I'm going to use my time wisely. Let me go downstairs and make myself, a sandwich. By the time I come back, I shall be in the show. But, like, ad breaks are actually like 2 minutes. They were never supposed to be that long, but I don't know why when I was a child, I used to think like they would take forever. So yeah, time actually goes so slow when you're a child, but then when you're older, you're like, it's not that deep. It's not that deep. But maybe it's because we're so like addicted to so many things that overstimulate us that we can pass time so quickly and we don't even realize it happening. But anyways, cutting out sugar, the benefits for me and Lent. I will say, I feel like cutting sugar is such an easy thing to do. That's why I decided to do it, because I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm just like a regular Gen Z out there. I am addicted to my phone. I am. But I'm slowly trying to, like, obviously cut this addiction out and, swap it out for better hobbies. And I'm not gonna lie, this addiction, because that's what it is, it's an illness. This addiction has gotten in the way of so many things for me. Especially when it comes to creating content. I said I was going to take it seriously, and, this illness got in the way. Obviously, so much more, but I'm not going to sit here and lie to myself, and you shouldn't sit there and lie to yourself either. It is that damn phone. Put it down. But giving up sugar for Lent is so interesting because it's not even just about me giving up sugar that's like, teaching me this lesson, like these lessons, but it's just about temptation in general. And that's what I love. That's what I love about this season. Because even when I don't partake in Lent, I love the whole sentiment of like focusing on things that are getting in your way of your growth. Whether that be, you want to gain a closer relationship with God, or you just want to be a healthier person, or I don't know, whatever your goals are in life. Lent is really that time where it's just like you can really reflect, and you turn inwards and you think like, wow, I need to be more honest with myself. Ever since turning 21 as well, that's kind of the thing that I've realized is like, it's so easy. It's so fucking easy to fall into temptation. It's not even funny. Like, and I feel like it's easier to fall into temptations with things that you don't even realize that are harmful, because people will think when I feel like when people say temptation, people think of lust or heavy hitters, lust or gluttony or all the 7 deadly sins, if you will. People think of those things, and I'm like, okay, yeah, that's crazy, like, if that's tempting you, then yes, we should work on that. But it could be literally small things like you're addicted to social media, or you're addicted to sugar and stuff like that. Guys, I didn't even realize that sugar addiction is so serious that, I think within my first week of Lent, doing it was easy, but then there were like certain days where I was like, oh, like, let me just pop this in my mouth, and I had to literally stop myself. I was like, oh my goodness, I can't do that because I'm literally fasting. Like, I'm fasting from sugar. I can't do that. So that's what I mean. Like, giving up sugar is it's taught me that it's so easy to fall for temptation, because sugar itself isn't obviously harmful, but it can add up. Do you know what I mean? If you're not moderating yourself and if you're not checking yourself, it can add up. And that's the thing that I didn't realize that I was doing. I wasn't moderating myself when it came to sugar. I'm not saying like I was a fucking fiend for it, and like if I woke up at the crack of dawn, I was like, ugh, I need a Snicker, I need a fucking Malteser bar. Like, no. Chill out. No, it was more like, I don't know, like I just pass by my kitchen, I'm like, let me just, oh, there's a snack there, let me just pop that in my mouth and go about my day. And then I do that like every single day. Obviously, that's going to fucking add up, mate. Watch yourself. Know thyself. Come on. But it's also trickling, like that mindset of just moderating and keeping things in balance. It's also like bleeding into other aspects of my life. And I feel like temptation, if anything, just teaches you that like good and bad is always on a weighing scale. And I spoke about this in my poem. You should go check it out. It's on my main channel. I'll link it in my description, or if you're on Spotify or any other streaming platform, go at Brie Zelina on YouTube, or go on my Stocks of podcast on YouTube as well, because it's there. But anyways, enough rambling, or like trying to plug myself, but I should. Anyways, good and bad is like on this scale, and it everything in life fluctuates, whether you like it or not. Nothing is ever, one straight line. But one thing I can say is consistency is a theme that, like, consistency is a skill that humans kind of have to, like, it's more of a muscle. It's a muscle that we kind of have to, like, work on ourselves. And, where am I going with this? And if you're consistently choosing things that are harmful for you, the weighing scale of good and bad will tip. That's what I see it as. Like, if I excessively have too much sugar, the weighing scale will tip, and, bad things will come of it. But then if I have, like, moderation of it, and, like, I'm consistently choosing something, I'm consistently just choosing to be a bit moderate with my sugar intake. Again, this isn't about the sugar. This is deeper than that. But, yeah, if I'm consistently on a balancing mindset, I guess. Kind of lost my train of thought there. If I'm consistently trying to balance that scale, then I will consistently be in moderation, and nothing will be good or bad. It will just be moderate. Yeah, and I feel like I said, like with the 7 deadly sins and temptation, people have this idea that temptation is so bad and that it's the devil talking to you. That's what some people think, which, you're valid to feel like that. But growing up Pentecostal, and even going to like a Protestant school and stuff, the way I was raised was that like everything that you kind of read is metaphorical. So that's just kind of how I see life anyways. I can't help but to see life like that, even where I'm like agnostic. It's still kind of just like I wouldn't say plague my mind, but like the way I see things is it's easier to draw meaning from it because I've been raised like that. I've been raised to interpret things in a very metaphorical way. So even with like things when it comes to temptation and the devil and good and bad and evil, I'm like, well, those are things that exist within us. Like, that is something that's just within you and you can't avoid that. And oh my god, you know what? I am a good poet. I be shitting myself sometimes. I like be shitting on myself. I'm like, oh, my poetry's so bad. Like, I don't want to post it. But I'm even thinking back to my poem. Like, I did speak about this though, because like, beauty is in the eye of the beholder, but ugly is literally in the heart of all. Like, you can't escape it. You have to have one or the, you have to have both to have one or the other. Like, two halves make a hole, and then one without another leaves a hole. That's what I said in my poem. Click, click, click. It's tea when you... Okay. Calm down. Chill out. This is what I mean. I'm actually online too much. But I'm reducing it. I'm reducing the salt. I'm reducing the screen time, and it's good. Okay? I'm swapping out my hobbies for reading and stuff. I'm currently reading Wicked, so I'll do a review on that soon. But anyways, yeah, I feel like good and bad is something that resides within us, like, as within, so without. So whatever you see outside in the real world, whether it's good or bad, it exists within you, so you can't avoid it. If you see something that, rubs you the wrong way and it makes you feel uncomfortable, you're gonna have to deal with it, because that's just something that's within you as well. Like, okay, I don't think the way I worded that was, but what I'm trying to say is, like, if you see ugly in other people, that's great, because there's also ugly within you. So it's just showing that you're at least perceptive. But are you perceptive enough, and are you honest to yourself enough that it exists within you? And I guess going back on that weighing scale thing, good and bad, ugly and beautiful, that's also on a weighing scale as well. And I guess if you were to put, if you were to connote ugly with bad, I guess the more you feed into things that aren't good for you, or things that are bad, I should say, things that are bad for you, I guess the more ugly things can become. But don't look at it that way. Temptations isn't something that you should view as negative. It's just something that, like, kind of weakens your spirit. And if you want to look at it in, like, a positive way, it's not something that should weaken your spirit, but it should be something that strengthens your spirit, because you see that as something that doesn't keep balance of that weighing scale, if that makes sense. Temptation, to me, what I've learned, during this time, isn't like supposed to be something that you shit on. Like, when I cut out sugar, I've not once looked at a sugary item and be like, that is so evil, I shouldn't eat that, that's so evil. I'm like, hey, like, we had some good times. Like, I look at the show, I'm like, hey, we've had some good times, but right now I just kind of need a break from you. But I'll come back to you when I'm ready. And when I do, it will be in a healthier way. I'll take a healthier approach to it, because things that tempt you, like, we're only human. We're not perfect. If we were perfect, then temptation would never exist in the first place. And not gonna lie, we kind of need things to tempt us in life, so we know what to avoid and how to become better as time goes on. Because I feel like if I grew up my whole life not being tempted to things, then how am I gonna ever grow? Like, even just me talking about this on this podcast episode, you wouldn't be listening to this episode and be like, yeah, she's spitting facts, if I wasn't tempted by something. That poem that I wrote, the beautiful words that I wrote, I wouldn't have created that if I didn't live that experience of being tempted through something. Things that are bad for you tend to also be easier to access, and it's easier to fall in temptation with them, because it gives you a dopamine hit. Obviously, like, that's not something that's not how it's described in the Bible. Like, it gives you a dopamine hit, but that's essentially what they're talking about. When you fall into temptation with something, it's because it makes you feel good in the moment. And I think it's easier to see it as it's easier to see it in, like, a way where it doesn't affect you because it makes you feel good in the moment. But then obviously later on down the line, that's when you see the effects. It's kind of like post-nut clarity. Like, you see how, like, men just, they'll be walking down the street and then they'll see some, like, fine shit, and then they'll be like, oh, like, I want to fuck. They go fuck that thing, and then they get post-nut clarity, and they're like, shit, man, why did I do that? Like, this is not a good idea at all. That's how I see temptation, honestly. But then that's how I've kind of worked through it. I'm like, imagine you were a man. And then this thing is, a thing that you just want to quickly cheat, and then you do the thing, and then you're like, fuck, why did I do that? See it as that. Like, if you want to work through temptation, see it as that, because it's easy to access in the moment, but then as soon as you get it, it feels nice, and then it just kind of, like, it's such a fleeting thing. And that's not what we're trying to chase, okay? We're not trying to chase things that are, like, of course, we don't want things to be hard for us. We don't want a hard knock life. But not gonna lie, you should be worried if you kind of can get things at the click of your fingers. Do you know what I mean? Like, if there's not a little bit of grit to it, Is that controversial to say? Because obviously within the context that I'm talking about, guys, like when I'm talking about manifesting things, of course we want to be in that mindset of, okay, anything good that I want to manifest should come to me at the click of my fingers. It should be easy. But I think when it comes to things that we know are harmful to us, because like I said, good and bad, it's subjective. But if you, come on, use your discernment, okay? I shouldn't be telling you this, but if you know something isn't going to be good for you, or you know that if you try it once, your addictive tendencies might come, and you might feel the need to go for it again and again and again, and that's where temptation comes. And at that point, we've gone past the point of temptation. This is like your knees deep into it. Like if you know that that's where you can head, and like you can't control it and you can't balance yourself and you can't moderate it, just view it as that. You think of yourself as a man that's about to cheat someone, and I'm telling you, it will work. It will bloody work, okay? That's literally low-key the mindset that I have when it comes to sugar. I'm like, if I eat this thing now, is it going to give me satisfaction later on? No. So then why am I falling for the temptation? It's not even worth it. It bloody ain't. Oh. Okay, guys, I'm going to have to like pause here and there. So if you hear like little breaks in between, that's what it is. I do live in a big household, so but as well as just saying like, things that are bad for you are easy to access, things that are good for you are also easy to access. You just don't believe that it's easier to access to you because you don't think that you're worthy enough to access it. Clock it. This is something that I've had to tell myself a lot. Or this is something that I'm teaching myself currently. This is a life lesson that I'm currently learning and I'm currently working through. I'm going to use the gym as an example, and content creation. When it came to like my physical health, the reason that I decided to go to the gym, and like one thing that helped me like pivot into, I guess, being a healthier person, it's only been 3 months, so like, let me actually chill out. I sound like a fitness guru, but honestly, it's not that. It's literally, I'm a regular bitch. I just decided to choose myself. That's it. But yeah, one thing that I realized, I'm like, oh my goodness, like I can't sit here and complain about the way my body looks when there's a gym down the road from me and I refuse to go to it. Why? Because I don't think I'm capable of doing stuff like that. Or even it applies to anything. Like, you think that you're not good enough for something, and that's why you kind of self-sabotage and you give yourself excuses, and you just like saturate your view with bullshit and things that are quote unquote bad for you because it's easier to access. Meanwhile, on the other side of it, if the bad things are easier for you to access, don't you think the good things are also easier to access? Obviously, it will take a while, but when you think about it in the long run, in a holistic point of view, bird's eye point of view, the things that are good for you are easier to access. And the reason why I'm saying that it's easier to access, because the long-term effect is far more greater and it's far more beneficial to you than the short-term effect that you'll receive from the things that are not gonna help you, I guess, get to wherever it is you need to get to. So that was like me with the gym. I was like, oh my goodness, girl, like you can't say, oh, my fat rolls, my back rolls, my rolls, like I can't be sitting around and saying that, and then I'm literally just sat on my phone doom scrolling anyways, or like bed rotting anyways, and then I walk past the gym to go to the KFC, and then I wonder why. Like, the same energy that it took for me to do all of those things, I could have just applied it to literally something that I know will benefit me. And oh my god, there's this like trend thing. Maybe I'll partake in it, but there's this trend thing where it's like on TikTok. I don't know if you've seen it. It's a split screen where someone will be doom scrolling on their phone, and then it will have the time mark of 45 minutes, and then at the top of it It'll be them at the gym or something, or them reading, or them painting, or whatever it is. Just doing something that's productive, that will also require the same amount of time. So it's not that you can't do these things. If you are able-bodied and you have the ability to get up right now and do 5 jumping jacks and do 5 breathe in, breathe out push-ups, I don't want to hear any bloody excuses about, it's just, what, you just what? You just fucking what, bitch? This is more me talking to myself, but if you feel this message, please take it. Okay, please take it, okay? Also, I'm 21 with no kids, guys. Like, can we actually have a round of applause? Like, let's do a round of applause. I'm 21 with no kids. There's people out there, there's niggas out there with kids before they even hit 21. That's fucking crazy. But hey, if you wanted that, that's great. But like, if you didn't plan for that, welcome for you. Anyways, I'm 21 with no kids, and it's my 10th house year. And if you're not into astrology, that's perfectly okay, because I'm going to tell you anyways. Like, hello. So the 10th house, well, it's not even about the 10th house year in particular, because I don't want to get into that. I'm just going to do a whole separate episode on astrology and like perfection years. But for me, the 10th house year and like how it applies to me, it has very Saturnian energy. And what that means is like Saturnian energy is energy that's father-like, energy that's tough love-like, energy that teaches you karmic lessons or teaches you lessons in life where you should improve on yourself. And once you kind of like go through those motions, it's meant to be hardships. Saturn is meant to be a planet where it teaches you about like hardships, or it literally puts you through hardships so you can become the best version of yourself in the end. A lot of people don't talk about the end part. They just kind of talk about like the hardships and the karmics and stuff. And it's meant to be like a malefic planet, which it is, because goddamn, it be beating your ass. It be beating your ass. But if you kind of work with it, it will kind of if you work with it, it will teach you that like through consistent discipline and effort, you will reap amazing rewards if you consistently show up for yourself in a way where it kind of feels hard, but you know it's good for you in the long run. So yeah, the 10th house has that energy, and I'm in that year, and I love using astrology as a guide, because even if you're not into astrology, I do implore you to still look into it. It's kind of like a personality test. Like, you don't have to believe in everything that it says, but I can't lie to you. And I know other people that are into astrology will also vouch for this. It's 99% of the time accurate. Yeah, I said it. It is, guys. It really is. Like, please just look into it. But okay, if you're not into it, so be it. But if you are so willing to take a personality test for like about an hour and see what personality type you are, you might as well literally just look at your birth chart and just have that quickly like ask ChatGPT to break it down for you if you don't want to go through if you don't understand what it's saying. At least just look, please, at least do me that, please, because it will teach you so much about yourself, and you'll realize like, oh my goodness, like here I am thinking that like, I don't know. I think for me, the way it applies to me is that I stepping into this 10th house year, like, again, with the energy that I've spoken about, stepping into this year, I really realized for myself, like, if I want to get to a specific place, especially when in terms of my career, I need to stop making excuses for myself, and I need to actually show up for myself. And one thing that I struggled with in terms of my consistency is that I kept on making dumbass excuses. And some things actually applied. Like, some things I was like, okay, generally you do need to take a break. You need to take a break, go on holiday, go and travel the world. Just calm down, slow down, okay? But this year I was like, I can't, like, what I love about Saturn energy is that it's like the harsh truth, and that's what I need. That's what I needed. I was like, I had to sit down with myself. I'm like, I'm not where I need to be because I'm doing this to myself. I can only blame people so much, but if it's trauma that I'm complaining about and I want to heal through it, it's for me to work through that and not for me to put the blame on other people. Like, at the end of the day, it's me that's dealing with it, and it's me that's dealing with the repercussions. And if I want better for myself, I can't just keep sitting in a victim mindset and be like, oh, woe is me, what am I gonna do? Just keep moving. With Saturn really just teaches you to, like, keep moving, because there will be positive results at the end of it, and you might not see the results now. You might not see the results in 2 years, 5 years, 10 years. I might be 60 and then that's when I fucking blow up. I don't know, and I don't care. As long as I'm just... Actually, that would kind of be concerning, not gonna lie. But then again, everyone's path is different. It took fucking Alexa Demi, Lord knows how long, to be finally recognised in her role for Euphoria. So, anyways, everyone's journey is different. But one thing I will say is that Saturn energy has really just taught me that, like, things will feel hard in the moment, but if you know it's good for you in the long run, please just do it. Please just fucking do it. And yeah, because the only way to move up that was such a northern accent. But yeah, the only way to move up in anything is just to be honest with yourself, because if you generally, like, start deluding yourself into the victim mindset, because that's what it is, you just delude yourself into a victim mindset, and then you just keep rolling down that lane, and then you completely forget how you've gotten there, and then you keep going further down because you're like, well, if I'm already here, I might as well just go further down. And it's not a good look, mate. It's not a good look, because you only just end up hurting yourself in the end. Like, everyone else is kind of focused on their own lives, so you can't really, like, who are you going to blame at that point? That's what I had to just come to terms with. I'm like, damn, like, yeah, I can't keep going like this, man. Like, if I want good for myself, I have to get it myself. Like, yeah. I am gonna wrap it up a little bit here, because I feel like I've been rambling long enough. But things that I would say that have helped me with temptation, since you asked, like, I know you're eager in the back, I can see you, put your hand down, it's okay. Things that have helped me with temptation, or the mindsets, I should say, is realizing that, or not realizing, but, like, one thing that I continuously say to myself, I'm like, well, especially when you go for it, like, for me during Lent, one thing that I've said to myself, I'm like, eating this, is it going to help you? No. So why partake in it? I've kind of already said that. But another thing that I love doing as well is, like, when you've done something for so long, like me with the gym, if I was to miss, like, a week of the gym or something, I would feel so guilty. Even just doing a rest day kind of just feels like, oh my god. But one thing that is, like, really helpful is to take progress photos, or to note down your progress. So if you want to journal that, if you want to put it in your notes app, if you want to record yourself, and every day of the week you just want to talk about how it is you're feeling in that moment, and just be honest as well. Like I said, like, Saturn, like, this Saturn year, and it's not even just my lessons, like, guys, my lessons I want to give to you guys. This is what I'm learning, so, like, I want to talk to you guys about it. When it comes to... Oh my god, I just forgot my train of thought again. Yes, I remember. Honesty with myself, and brutal honesty. Because, again, that's what Saturn teaches. That's what Saturn teaches me. And that's what Saturn teaches everyone. But, again, this is my Saturnian year. And I'm learning about brutal honesty with myself. Forget other people, with myself. Because once I'm brutally honest with myself, baby, there's no distractions. There's no excuses. And it feels good, honestly. Like, for the first week or so, or however long you decide to do it for, but, like, for the first bits, or for the first moments that you're on this journey of, like, figuring out how to balance things that tempt you, good and bad, and how to just be a moderate human being in any aspect of life. When you're brutally honest with yourself, it gives you a clear vision. And it's hard in the beginning, because it's like a cycle, it's like a routine, like we're creatures of habits at the end of the day. And if we're trying to like stray away from a habit, our body's gonna be like, what the hell are you doing? This isn't, because it's a survival thing. Like, when you pick up a habit, it's kind of like you're telling yourself that this is what you need to survive. So then if you are working on changing that habit, and you're working on changing something that tempts you into something that's positive, and using it as like something that should balance you or moderate you, or you just want to cut it out completely, whatever it is, if it's going to the gym, I don't care, whatever it is, name it, I will talk about it. Whatever it is, being honest in the beginning stages is the best thing you can do for yourself, because it will make you feel you're only human at the end of the day, and like you're prone to mistake. But as long as you're honest about it, the more you talk about it and the more you just kind of let it out there, the easier it will be to work through it, because then that will be like the next thing that you should work on. That will be like, again with Saturn, the more honest you become with yourself, the more Saturn will kind of teach you about yourself, which I just love. Like, people love to hate on it, but honestly, it's such a great, beautiful planet. Like, when you bring these things up into your view, it's just kind of like one Mexican down. Like whack-a-mole, like you just hit it and it's like, oh, that's one thing done. Or like when you've got like a checklist, like you just check it off and it's like, oh, that's one less thing to worry about. That's what it feels like when you're honest with yourself, especially in the beginning stages. I implore you to track your progress, because when you have, let's say, like for me, I've been going to the gym 3 months now. If I was to miss, or if I just wasn't, feeling that groovy about going to the gym on one particular day that I was supposed to go, I will like be like, okay, like why don't I want to go? I'm gonna like validate how I feel, because that's how I felt at the end of the day. But then the discipline comes in where I look at my progress. I'm like, how would my past self feel if I just gave up now? I've worked so hard and I just gave up now. Also, when you track your progress, you can see it only goes up. It only goes up. So you can see like the positive impacts that it has on you. And if you also talk about that instead of just focusing on the negative part, because again, everything has like its caveats, good and bad. If you just talk about that, like, hey, like today it's day 1 of me giving up sugar, and it kind of just feels like crap. And then I don't know, day 7 comes and it's like, hey, do you know what, I've given up sugar, but I'm not really craving it. Instead, I've decided to opt for more healthy options. And then I don't know, day 14 comes and it's like, oh my goodness, like I just feel clearer, and mentally I feel clearer, and my eating habits have become better, my sleep has become better. And then let's say day 15 comes now, and then something tempts you and you're like, shit, I would really want to eat this. And then you look at your progress, it's like, wait, why would I give up all this hard work that I've put in just for this one satisfaction, this one fleeting moment? So it's about putting things into perspective. Good things, I feel like, personally, good things come at the same time as bad things. We just don't realize it, because the bad things are so easy to indulge in. It's so easy to just fall for the bad things and like things that tempt you, that you don't realize until like way later on that it affects you negatively. But with the good things, where especially where you're not used to creating that habit, it's a new pattern that your brain is noticing, and it will do everything in its power to kind of turn you against it, because again, we're habits of creature, we're habits of survival, what am I saying? We're creatures of habit and we're creatures of survival. I hope I didn't say that before on the podcast, but if I did, you guys know what I meant, allow me. But because we run on patterns, sometimes there's certain patterns that we don't even realize that are negative for us, that we've just been doing for so long. But then when we try to change it into something that's positive, our brain immediately recognizes that, and immediately, which it's not the fault of our brain either. Like, I think we have pretty intelligent brains, which it can kind of work against us if we're not aware of how certain things can tempt us. If we're not aware of how certain things can tempt us, it can kind of lead us to a really dark road. But anyways, what I'm trying to say is when it comes to tracking your progress and, you know, all of that stuff, it all kind of comes at the same time. So yeah, like it could take you, I don't know, 6 months to gain weight, and during those 6 months you won't realize that it's happening because you're just so, like, you're so in the motion of it and it's just so regular to you. And then let's say you want to work on that and you want to take another 6 months to lose that same weight. You're going to recognize that even more, and it's going to feel slower to you because you're just not used to it. So tracking your progress is like the best thing ever, because you'll also realize, like, hey, it wasn't even that bad. Like, you just kind of you psych yourself. Like, I psyched myself out for what? It was never that deep. I just was looking for a reason, an excuse to kind of go back to my old ways because it makes me feel comfortable. And temptation, I feel like when we're tempted by something, it's because it's not necessarily because it's coming from a negative space, but it's more so coming from a place of wanting to feel comfortable and wanting to feel safe. But you'll feel better about yourself if you do something that challenges you. And that's what I'm saying, go to the gym, guys, honestly, go to the gym. But anyways, that is it for this episode. I am so thirsty and I'm also hungry. Anyways, I hope you eat and drink water. You can put your socks on again. You can put them back on now if your feet are getting cold, because I know it's cold where I am. But I've got a nice, lovely, cozy blanket, so I'm alright. But yeah, let me know what else you want to hear from me. Let me know your thoughts on temptation and lust and 7 deadly sins. Hey, if you're going to the gym, show me your progress, not on some creepy shit. Chill out. Send me your progress, because I just love to see people's gym progress. It's just so motivational. It honestly keeps me going. And what hobbies are you going to pick up? What are you, if you're not even doing Lent, what is something that you would trade out? Like, what's an unhealthy habit that you know that you have that you want to work on and trade out for a good habit? Think about it, figure it out, let me know. DM me at the Socks of Podcast, EXO on Instagram, or you could just give me a follow. That would be really great. Follow me on TikTok at the Socks of Podcast. Follow me on my main at http://BRIANAX on TikTok and Instagram. And then make sure you go on my main channel as well. Just, you know, if you want to see like cool chill content, like me vlogging and stuff. I also posted my poem there, and I think I'm going to post more poetry on my main channel. But yeah, that's it. Be good to yourself and be good to others, guys. See you. I will talk to you next time. Bye. We did it, Joe. Shut up, Mom. Okay, actually, bye now.